Hello and welcome back. Now we want to start adding the different helpers, but we're going to start with the interfaces. Before we add the interface, I want to make one change. Yeah, you might decide not to do that. I want to move this folder into another folder, and I'll call that folder server. Okay, so that I can use it to differentiate the ones that are just for our local, like Docker volumes, Docker compose. Okay, so I'll create a folder called server, and then I will move this into the folder right here. Okay, and or maybe I'll just rename it. This is just for me. Okay, I want this to be on top of the, or probably, yeah, it won't. I don't want this Docker volumes to be above this, but it's fine for now. I'll think about something later. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is to create a new folder inside source called interfaces. Now we have about 9 interfaces to add, and it will make it won't make a lot of sense if we start adding them one after the other, going through the content of each file. It will take about maybe 9 additional videos, and I think it doesn't really make sense. So what I did was I attached all the interfaces file to this video. All you just need to do is download them and then add them to the interfaces folder. So I'll create a new folder in my source. I'll call this interfaces. Okay, and then inside the interfaces, that is where I'm going to paste all the interfaces file. Okay, so you can do the same and paste inside interfaces. Now we can go through each one of these, because if we want to add a video for each one, it's going to just be unnecessarily long. I know there are students that will send me messages saying, okay, why didn't I type all of them out? I understand. For me, it doesn't really make sense to just sit down and start typing each one of them out. We can just go through them. Okay, so as you can see, the interfaces we have auth interface, buyer, chat, email, gig, order, review, search, and seller interfaces. Okay, so these are the interfaces we're going to use in our microservices, and possibly some of these interfaces as well. We're going to use them on the front end. So now let's start with the auth interface. Now the auth interface, the first part here, we have declared this global property here. We specified the Express namespace. Okay, remember we already installed Express, and we are using Express as our framework. And then one other thing I said earlier was one of the good things for us using this library is because we are using the same framework. We are going to be using the same technology stack throughout our microservices. Okay, so it's fine for us. Yeah, I just created the new Express namespace, and inside the request interface, I'm creating this request user property. Okay, now this request user property, we have the iAuth payload. Okay, so that in our services we can have access to request.current user. Okay, so this is the reason why I added. So if you want to add a new property to Express request object, this is how you do it. Yeah, I created, you can add another my value, you can set it to boolean or whatever. Okay, so for us this is just going to be current user. And now what is the content of this iAuth payload? I have the name, the ID. Okay, now this is going to be a number. This is going to be the ID from the MySQL database. We have username, email, and a value that specifies the token. Okay, so this is all going to come from what we save in the JWT token. And then we have the iAuth interface with username, password, email, and then we have the iAuth documents. Okay, and then we have all of this. You can go through them. They are not difficult to understand. Okay, so these and some of this we are likely going to use also in our React application. Okay, and then we have the buyer interface. Yeah, I have not installed Mongoose, so I'll go ahead and install Mongoose. So npm install Mongoose. Okay, So I have that installed. I just have the buyer document and Redux buyer with payload in this. I think this one will be used in the React application. Okay. So for the buyer documents, we have ID, username. You can see all of the properties. Let's go to charts. We already have Mongoose installed. So we have a conversation interface, which extends documents from Mongoose. And then we have the iMessage document, details, chat props. I think we are going to use these ones on the front end. Okay. Then we have email. So email locals, these are the different properties. We are going to see how to use all of these. Gig. Okay. Order. Review. Okay. Search. And yeah, this is we've not added this, so I'll just leave this for now. So we have this error. Okay. We are going to fix this, and then seller interface. Okay. So for this search, all we just need to do is to install the Elasticsearch library. Okay. So open the terminal. We are going to go through the Elasticsearch documentation later, but for now we can install the library. Npm install. I think this is the part we need. So copy this part and paste right here. Okay. Remember I said we are going to be using Elasticsearch minimum 8 version. If you use version 7, it's not going to work. Okay. So install the Elasticsearch library. Now, right now you can see we don't have the error anymore. And then we have the seller interface. Okay. So these are the different interfaces. But now how then are we going to get set up these values so that we can make use of them? Remember in our package.json file, we said that the main file is going to be index.js, and then we are going to import from index.js, okay, or require from index.js. So what we need to do is inside the source, create a new file called index.ts. And remember that we are exporting all of these interfaces. We are not exporting them as default, okay? So we are just exporting them as regular exports, okay? Now, in this index.ts, this is where we need to import, okay? So, or rather we need to export them so that we can use them outside of the library, okay? So export from, and then we add the path /interface or interfaces /auth interface. So we want to import from auth first. So what we need to do, all of this here that you exported, all you just need to do is come right here and then paste. Okay. Do the same. So you do the same for all of these services. I'll pause the video, add all the exports. Okay. So for auth interface, all you just need to do is export, then in curly braces, the interface name, and then you add the path. Okay. Okay. So this is what I have done for each of these interfaces. I'm exporting the interface right here. You can see I have for auth interface, everything in the auth interface with exports. That is what I've exported here. From buyer interface, everything with exports. That's what I have exported right here as well. The same for chat interface, gig interface, order interface. You can see all of this. So in the microservice where we need maybe just the auth interface, we install. And then because of this export from index.ts, we are going to have access to all of these interfaces. Okay, we'll just do imports iauth payload from whatever the name of your library is. Okay, so we have added the interfaces. In the next video, we are going to add another helper.